In the opening paragraph of the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson writes truthfully that governments derive their powers from the consent of the governed. That paragraph closes with the idea that the people have the right to create a government that strengthens the safety and happiness of the people. Ask yourself, does our government today make you feel either safe or happy? And if the answer is no, then we need to realize that our government has wandered away from being one that derives its powers from our consent. Instead, the powers of government often happen without our consent. We need to change that. Here in Texas, the Disaster Act of 1975 gives the governor the power to declare an emergency for up to 30 days to reduce your vulnerability to damage, injury, the loss of life and property resulting from natural or man-made catastrophes. We just went through one of these periods of declared disaster. In fact, we're still in it. And did you know that on May 22nd of this year, the COVID disaster declaration was extended yet again, as it has been extended every 30 days since the beginning of the outbreak over 2 years ago. The Texas Constitution says that the legislature by law may terminate a state of disaster at any time. But the problem is that your representative has never been called into special session by the governor, or have they been given the opportunity to terminate the ongoing state of disaster. During a state of disaster, the governor can suspend laws and rules. Did you consent to that? During the past 2 years, tens of thousands of businesses closed because they were forced to close. The owners lost their lifelong dream and their lifelong investment. Just as no person should lose their home to a property tax seizure, no business should be forced into bankruptcy because of a government that forces its doors to close for an extended period. And morally, it's just wrong. No single person should be given such authority, and certainly not for a period of months and years. It's time to remind the Texas government that their power derives from the consent of the people. We must amend the Constitution so that a disaster declaration cannot proceed without a passing vote by the Texas legislature. Most importantly, no matter who our governor might be, no person should ever have the authority to override the will and the consent of the people.